This is a Tricky Beat production.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Crimson. Today I'm bringing you guys some more Black Ops 3. The gameplay you guys are going to be watching in the background is going to be a 125 kill gameplay with the R70 Ajax playing some hardpoint on Nuketown, just playing in a two-man party. Overall, a pretty nice gameplay. So this video is going to be a class setup with the R70 Ajax as well. So overall, as I said, 125 kills with the R70 Ajax on Nuketown. Pretty nice gameplay overall. I probably could have had slightly more kills just because at one point I was close to another set of streaks, and for some reason this enemy was sitting in a corner with an HCXD and I happened to have not seen it, and he actually got a triple kill on me and my teammates, so that was kind of disappointing, but overall a pretty nice gameplay with the LMG. So I hope you guys do enjoy it in the background. So the class setup is going to be shown on screen. So my attachments are going to be grip, quick draw, and stock, and then my perks are going to be overclock, afterburner, fast hands, and then tactical mask. So the first perk, or excuse me, the first attachment that I actually use is going to be grip, as I said. Now I haven't experimented with this weapon without grip, so I'm not really sure if grip is a necessity or not, but the R70 Ajax does have a pretty high rate of fire, and usually when a weapon has a high rate of fire, it usually tends to have slightly more recoil, so that's why I use grip on there, and it makes it practically have no recoil at all, so that's why I use the grip. And then next up I have quick draw, just because it is a light machine gun. Now I don't always use a quick draw on light machine guns. Usually I like to use extended mags or fast mags, but unfortunately the R70 Ajax itself doesn't have an attachment such as extended mags or fast mags, so that's kind of unfortunate. So that's why I just use quick draw, just because it's the next best attachment, at least in my personal preference. And then lastly I use stock, just because I feel the need to have more mobility on pretty much every light machine gun and assault rifle I use in Black Ops 3. So those are the attachments. Now the perks, as I said, are basically going to be my standard perks that you guys always see me use, and that's going to be overclock, afterburner, fast hands, and tactical mask. Now you guys are probably wondering why I'm not using scavenger on this class setup specifically, and that is due to the fact that this weapon is actually an ammo printing light machine gun, so you basically don't need scavenger at all. And unfortunately in this gameplay I made a mistake by accidentally using scavengers because I kind of wasn't thinking, and I wasn't using afterburner. But on the regular class setup I don't use scavenger at all, just because, as I said, it's not needed at all. So I use fast hands just so I can aim down sights faster after sprinting. With the combination of quick draw, it makes it pretty easy to win gunfights with this light machine gun. And then of course I use afterburner, overclock, and tactical mask. Those are very necessary perks, and very good perks, at least in my personal opinion. And so overall this light machine gun and weapon itself is very solid. It kills pretty quickly, as you guys can see in this gameplay. I was actually playing against a guy the other day who was using it as well, and he was melting me pretty fast as well. So I thought at first when I had gotten this gameplay maybe it was just kind of luck that I was killing the enemy so quickly, but overall it actually just really destroys when it comes to the damage itself. But there are a couple of negatives about this gun that I'd like to talk about, so maybe you guys can avoid the situations where this gun isn't as good. So I'm going to talk about those, and I'll get into the positives of this weapon. So the one bad thing that I've noticed about this weapon is that it isn't very good at winning gunfights at close range. And you guys are probably thinking, well, that's pretty obvious, it is a light machine gun, but there are quite a few light machine guns and even assault rifles in Black Ops 3 that allow you to win most gunfights at close range. And I've noticed that within this gameplay I died a couple of times, probably maybe 4 to 5 times in gunfights where I normally would have won those gunfights if I was using a weapon maybe such as the VMP or the KN-44. So that is one bad thing about this weapon, is that it isn't very good at close range. It's kind of inconsistent. It's usually meant for medium to long range gunfights. It usually thrives within those ranges and distances, just because you guys will see throughout this gameplay when I'm at medium to long range I'm usually winning every single gunfight. So that's one bad thing about this weapon. The other bad thing, and the last bad thing, it doesn't have very many negatives, but the last bad thing is it doesn't have any attachments such as extended mags or fast mags. As I said, it's sort of just an ammo printing light machine gun. So it also has an extremely high rate of fire, so when you're playing on a small map such as Nuketown like I am in this gameplay, and when you also have an extremely rush heavy playstyle such as I do, you're going to be running out of ammo pretty quickly. And the fact that it is an ammo printing LMG, it usually takes around maybe half a second to a second for you to reprint a bullet. So usually once you've sprayed your entire clip, then that means that it's going to take a little while for you to, of course, replenish your ammo and reprint your ammo. So sometimes if you're playing on a small map like Nuketown, that can result in something bad, but if you're playing on a bigger map such as maybe Infection or Breach and you're playing slightly more passive, then it shouldn't be a big deal. So the good things about this weapon, obviously, as I said, that it is a very powerful and very high in damage overall. When it comes to this weapon, it's just extremely powerful. I've noticed that, and the iron sights are actually really decent. I know a lot of people probably don't like the iron sights on this weapon. A lot of people would probably prefer to use an elo sight or maybe just a sight in general, but I'm actually pretty comfortable with the sight, and overall it wins most gunfights at medium to long range. That's what I've noticed. If you're playing sort of passive with this weapon, maybe sitting on a head glitch, I know that's sort of a scummy playstyle, but you guys will see that here and there throughout this gameplay. I was actually doing that. I was kind of just sitting on a head glitch, and I managed to win most of my gunfights, and I was usually killing in 3 to 4 bullets, and that's what I like about this weapon, is it's very consistent when it comes to the long range. range and medium range gunfights. So overall, it's a very nice weapon, and I know it kind of sucks that it's a weapon that can only be obtained out of a supply drop, but if you do have a lot of crypto keys saved up, you should be able to get it. I mean, it did come out in July, so it isn't like one of the newest weapons. Usually the new weapons seem to be even harder to get out of supply drops. So that's basically going to be the video and the gameplay overall. I hope you guys did enjoy the class setup. Definitely be sure to try this class setup out if you do happen to have this weapon, and I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and I am out. Peace.